Alright everyone, so with this video I'm going to go through every step from scratch here to set up the DragonLink to connect to Mission Planner via the Bluetooth module. So I'm going to check continuity on every cable that matters and the antenna, and then we'll switch over to the Pixhawk settings, then the DragonLink settings, and then I'll power it all on and we'll see what performance we get. So this shouldn't take more than 15 minutes. I'd appreciate if you guys could take a look and catch anything that I'm doing wrong. Because at this point, if it's user error, then I'll be pretty happy. So I'm going to put my phone down here, and what you'll hear first are two beeps, hopefully, from the DragonLink antenna here. So I'll basically be checking continuity to each antenna. I don't know if the camera's going to focus on that, but I did put a pretty good dab of epoxy on this to protect the transformer, I assume, is what I've been told that is, or what I've read. It's pretty thin wire, so just a dab of epoxy should help that out. And so I'm going to check the ground and center pin here on the cable, on the SMA extension here. So two beeps again, one for each antenna. My handy dandy battery stand for my camera here. And maybe you can see me test the continuity on this. So this is the first one. I honestly don't know which is which, so I'm going to just test both of them here. Well, it would help if I turn my multimeter on. Okay, so that's the ground, and then I'm going to do the center pin. Steady my hand here so we get a clear beep. Okay. So the antenna is good. That was my problem on the first set, is I had one of the antenna leads was bad. But I'm not convinced that was my issue. I still think I'm doing something wrong setup wise. So now I'm going to check the Pixhawk continuity. So basically, I'll pick the camera up here again. The way I have this set up is I just made like a custom, DF13 with some pre-crimped wires from, where did I get those? DigiKey? And made my own harness here, and I've kind of adapted it from some other things. But basically, I've cut everything out of it, and the only connections are pin 2 and 3. So if you go to the Pixhawk website, the ArduPilot website, and you go to their overview, pin 2 and 3 are the, I forget which is which, but one is transmit, one is receive. I'll look that up when we go over to the computer. But basically that's all these are, and they're the standard servo connections. So I'm going to test the continuity on these guys. And you should hear two beeps, again, one for each, one for the transmitter receive. So this is a little harder to do since these little DF13s are hard to get a hold of, but hopefully I'll be able to demonstrate this. Okay, that's pin 2, then pin 3. Okay, pin 3. So those are good. And then what I'm actually doing to power the DragonLink receiver is I have a BEC here and this BEC is powering the Pixhawk servo rail. So the power module does nothing but power, you know, the front ports here. It turns it on. It doesn't provide any power to the servo rail. So there's another BEC here. This is the throttle ESC BEC that goes into channel 3, and it has the power lead on it. So that is plugged into channel 3, and then this is just a random cable output that I'm going to plug into the DragonLink to power it. I'm going to put it on, let's see, the camera's not playing nicely here, but channel 4. So I have pins 1 and 2 set up for the serial, and we'll go over that when we go to the computer too. So that's the setup. Servo, power rail, Pixhawk, powers the DragonLink. That's the only power connection that's going into this. So I'll pause the video. We're going to go over reset the Pixhawk and DragonLink. We are connecting to the Pixhawk to reset it. So it's flashing me the yellow light, which usually means it's good. Nope. Come on. Sorry about that. Classic Pixhawk power cycle. Didn't want to connect the first time. So now we're in. Going to reset everything. Are we sure? Yes. Okay, board is rebooting. Back in after the reboot. To the full parameter list we go. So first off, I'm just going to disable the GPS check just to be safe. I don't want to have anything dependent on that. So it's not going to check for GPS. And then I'm also going to change the require arming, which I usually disable on planes anyway. So if you didn't catch that, that's arming require, which is like the throttle or rudder arm. Kind of redundant if you have a safety switch anyway. So now we're going to go to the settings on DragonLink website for the Pixhawk. So this is for telemetry port 2, which is what I have connected on here. So we're going to go through these one by one. Sorry, I'm doing this with one hand, so here's the first one. That is set to 0. Right. Okay, the green is gone. Next, serial to baud. Set to 19. Right. Good. Serial 2 protocol already set to 1. GCS Mavlink. Good. SR2. Okay, a series of these guys. So exterior or status or some sort. External status. I don't know what that stands for. It's already set to 1. These are both set to 5. 5. Extra 3 set to 1. Param set to 8. Position set to 2. Raw control set to, well, that's not control. I don't know what that stands for either. That's already set to 1. Sensor set to 1 and channel set to 0. 1128 1551. Yes. Write these and we're done. On the planner page, double check these: attitude 5, position 2, mode status 1, sensor also 1, RC 0. So we're done with Mission Planner and the Pixhawk. So I'm going to disconnect and go to the DragonLink. So we got the DragonLink transmitter here. I'm using a Futaba 14SG with the supplied trainer port into input 1 on the DragonLink, and I got the USB connected as well. So I'm going to power the DragonLink while I change, or I'm going to power the full RF module on the DragonLink while I change the settings. So and then we're going to connect to the GUI. Searching, 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 connected. So presets, Mavlink full pass-through. Select, save, reboot. So you heard it do its thing and give a tone there, but it doesn't actually reconnect. So that's something I've noticed. I usually have to cycle the USB cord for it to actually come back up. So we'll give it a second to see if it works, but it hasn't in the past. So yeah, and I've noticed that it just freezes up the program too, so I just have to completely get out of that. Maybe it's a setting on Windows 10, who knows, but it doesn't seem to want to work. Okay, so we're back now. You know, so messing with this, as long as I've been doing it, these settings are what are mentioned as well. So it's fastest update rate, high directional bandwidth. Yeah. And then the radio modem setting, you can do the same thing with the presets. Radio modem, save. Okay, we'll just do it again. Save anyway. Save, reboot, it beeps, and oh, what? It actually came back. Okay, it's the first time I've seen it do that. Maybe that means the setting's stuck. Could this be the one? So, I didn't do anything different from the first time, so I'm not sure why that worked, but hey, that's good news. Okay, so we're set up on the transmitter side, so I'm going to disconnect this and go to the receiver. All right, we have the DragonLink receiver hooked up to the USB cord here. I'm going to go to the DragonLink receiver GUI. Searching, searching, searching. There we go. So there's no presets on this, but it's pretty simple. And actually, I've already got it kind of set up here, serial in and serial out. So we're going to double check that so that everyone can see that I didn't hopefully make a mistake on that. So it's ArduPilot common overview. Let's use Pixhawk overview. Yeah. So we go down to telemetry ports. So pin 2 is the transmit out. So that should be serial in. Should be pin 2 on the Pixhawk, which is this gray one. So transmit out should be serial in on the DragonLink, which is channel 1. The other one will be serial out, which is the receive, which is the third pin, which in my setup here is the white one. So white on channel 2, gray on channel 1. So we go back to here, and those are set already. So why not? We'll just save them again, reboot. It says it's searching, but usually I don't have any luck with it coming back. cycle everything again. And then connect this up again. Okay, we're good. You can see it didn't really change anything. I don't see any different, or the settings held at least. Set baud. This is, of course, on here as well. There's really not much to change on the receiver. Yeah, so make sure we have 19,200 for the baud rate and configure the transmit serial. Okay, so we'll try to reboot it one more time for the hell of it. So set baud. There's really no feedback here. I guess it's set. And then save, reboot. So nothing from here. And I've switched USB cables, so I don't think it's the USB cable. But it could very well be the Windows 10 or something with the USB driver. I have no idea. That's the one thing that I haven't really changed yet is the PC, but I figure that's sort of later down the line if I get desperate. But so that's not coming back. I'm going to assume that the settings are saved. We're going to connect it one more time to make sure, and then we're going to move to the actual test here. So this is going a little longer than I expected, but bear with me if you can. Alright, serial in, out. Everything looks good. 1920 or 19,200. Yeah. So now I'm going to rebind the receiver to the transmitter and hook it up to the Pixhawk and test it out.